sitting. Now, as working moms, especially if you're one of those moms who work in high stress jobs or executive roles, it can be quite a juggle between your home life and your professional life. And on top of that, if you have nerve pains, which are not just aches and pains, but regular constant discomfort due to nerve pain, life can get really challenging, right? And as working moms, we are sitting for long hours at work, maybe with our kids as well. Maybe you're sitting in the car, driving them to and fro classes. So there can be a lot of sitting involved in our everyday lives. So if you have nerve pain that starts or that aggravates with sitting, this is a video that you want to watch. So let's discuss some simple tips on how can you relieve your nerve pain while sitting. Now, before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive roles to manage their spinal, that is, back and neck, joint, and nerve pains. I do this by giving you simple exercises, easy lifestyle modifications, some tips, tricks, and hacks that have worked for me in my own spinal and joint pain journey. And I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we are busy people, right? We don't have big chunks of time to take out for our aches and pains and their solutions. So without taking more of your time, let's get into some simple tips to relieve your nerve pain that is caused by sitting, or if you get nerve pain when sitting. So, the very first thing is, let's look at your sitting posture. I know posture is a word that is very overused, and it's probably white noise to you, but it is very relevant, especially in the context of this video, because when you're sitting, if you are, say, in a slouched or slumped position like this, so do you see this instant stress that's coming on my neck, my mid back, and my lower back? So if you have nerve pain that's originating from your neck or your mid back, or for that matter, your lower back or lumbar spine, going into your arms, forearms, and your legs or bottom, you will instantly move towards the root of nerve pain rather than if you were sitting in a good posture and your spine is well aligned. There's less pressure on your nerves, so there's less compression on your nerves, and there are lesser chances of aggravating your nerve pain or going down towards the path of developing nerve pain. All right, so it's let me just break this down further into simpler tips for you. So when you are sitting down, try and keep your monitor. So if this is say this is your monitor here, try and keep the top of your, the screen, the computer screen, or your monitor or your laptop monitor at such an angle that it is about 5 to 10 degrees below your horizontal gaze. So if this my horizontal gaze, the top of the monitor should be at about 5 to 10 degrees below my horizontal gaze. So here, what this does is it puts your cervical spine or your neck in this position, this slight chin nod that happens here. This puts your cervical spine in a neutral position. Obviously, it's a happy position for, or an optimal posture for your cervical spine. There's less stresses on the nerves, and of course, that will reduce your chances of nerve pain. Now, the same thing for your lumbar spine. When you're sitting, try and support that lumbar curve or the curvature of your lower back. If you have one of those ergonomic chairs that have an inbuilt lumbar support, make sure that your lumbar spine, because is okay, let me just finish that. Lumbar spine is being supported because most of the ergonomic chairs, especially the high-end ones, have a lumbar support that can be adjusted. So somebody who's taller than me or shorter than me will need the lumbar support in a slightly different height than me, right? So if this is a chair that only you are using, you can actually adjust that lumbar support to support that curvature of your lower back. If you have one of those chairs that doesn't have a lumbar support, then you want to probably use a lumbar roll or a pillow behind your lumbar spine so that that area is being supported. Now, why is it important? If this is your lumbar curve, say this is the front of your body, this is the back of your body. If you're sitting on a regular chair, this is the back of the chair. Do you see how the muscles and the area in the deeper part of the lumbar curve is not being supported at all? When you have a lumbar pillow or a lumbar roll that is sitting in that is inbuilt, or you're using an external one in your chair, this lumbar curve is fully supported. So there are less chances of you leaning back in order to support the muscles in the lumbar curve. And therefore, you will not be slouching like this or slumping in your chair. Obviously, less pressure on your nerves, less chances of compression on your nerves, and thus less nerve pain. Now, I use an ergonomic chair, but when I didn't have one, I used a lumbar pillow and or lumbar roll, and I used it in my car as well. So if you are looking for the one that I recommend, I will leave a link in the blog that I have written on the same topic, and I will leave the link to the blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link will be in my bio. If you can't find it, just message me and I'll send you the link directly. All right, so going back. Now, just looking at my notes here. So yeah, so in the blog, I will also leave a video that talks more about your sitting posture. I will move on to the next point. Otherwise, this video is going to get too long. You can use a hot pack if you feel that your back or neck, depending on which part is responsible for your nerve pain, is getting really stiff, or you feel the tightness creeping in as you're sitting. Now, this usually can be early in the mornings when you're in the bed, but now that we're talking about sitting, this could be when you're sitting in those long meetings. You can just, or you are on a video call and you can't get up from your chair, you can just put the hot pack in your, suppose it's your lumbar spine, you can just put the hot pack there, and then you can sit through your meeting. So again, I will leave a link to the hot pack and cold packs that I use. Hot pack will increase the circulation in the area. It helps in increasing the flexibility of the muscles and lengthening and maintaining the normal length of the muscle. So basically, it, in simple English, it helps to ease the tightness that is, or the stiffness in the muscle. So that's how a hot pack helps. A cold pack can also be very useful, especially if you're one of those who start to feel achy or sore in their muscles or in their spine, which leads to a nerve pain. And this is usually felt like the mid of the day or towards the evening or end of the day when you're sitting for long hours. Now, if that is you, then use a cold pack. A cold pack helps by easing the inflammation, this soreness, and this um, uneasiness or uncomfortable feeling that you get is usually due to inflammation in and around your spine, due to which your nerves get irritated. So use a cold pack there. Another thing is, apart from the hot packs and cold packs, sometimes there's actually, yeah, let's just stay on this topic. So hot packs and cold packs, some people can get very confused which one to use. So there's no right or wrong answer. Every single person is different. If you're not sure, use one and the other, and then decide which works better for you. Let me warn you, it can vary from person to person. It can vary from one body part to another. Okay. So for me personally, I like a hot pack for my back, but when it comes to my tennis elbow, I prefer a cold pack. So see what works for you. Okay. If you're not sure, again, message me and I can help you out. Okay, moving on. The last but the most important thing is movement. If you've heard me talking on any of the topics, this is something that I always address. Our bodies are not meant for static postures. So if you are one of those who sit for long hours or even stand for long hours for that matter, try and move around. It is not always possible. You could be in meetings, you could be so engrossed in your work that you forget about it. However, if that is the case, that you're sitting in a long meeting, or even if you're sitting for a long flight, say you've got work travel and you're sitting in a long flight, you can't get up, it's a nighttime flight, try and shift your weight from one side of your bottom to another, uncross your leg. If it's your neck, just move it around and just tilt it around, just shrug your shoulders a little bit, just any little movement that you can do every hour. If you do like a minute or two of movement, it is a good idea because it helps to de-stress your spine again, not and then again, this helps to not build up your nerve pain or irritate your nerves to lead to a nerve pain. If you are looking for some simple desk-based exercises, I have done a free video guide that you can get from the blog that I had mentioned. And it doesn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes to actually go through the exercises for the full body, right from your neck down to your toes, covering everything in between. So if you want that video guide, you can access the blog and I will leave a link to that video guide there. If you've just joined the video or you're not sure, this is a blog that I have written on the same topic, and I will leave a link in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you're watching it in the future, the link can be further down in the blogs. However, you can message me and I will send the blog to you. Alrighty, so yeah, another word of caution before I finish this video. This nerve pains that I'm talking about is mostly for spinal, that is back and neck pain that leads to nerve pain. If you have nerve pain due to diabetes or any other medical conditions, these are still applicable to you, but you do have to manage this with your doctor and with your medications, right? So it doesn't mean that you can follow these tips and then let go of your medication. So do keep that in mind. Alrighty, if you have any questions, any comments for me, do drop them below the video and I will address them for you. Okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.